Hello, and welcome to Grug Gaming, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Ultima 7, the Black Gate. We're here in Scarabray. We have to find a tortured one to find the answer to life and death. We found out that the island of Scarabray is being controlled by an evil lich. So we are now trying to find out how we can help the townsfolk so we can hopefully talk to the tortured one. The mayor told us about how he kind of goofed up the proportions, so we're going to talk to Medora the healer again. And where'd she go? And I want to ask her about that. She lifts up her arms, and one of them you see an Ankh. She does her chanty to make sure we're okay and says, "Ah, you're okay." Okay, she has nothing else to say, so we have to go, actually, I guess we have to go find Cain, the poor alchemist who had things go wrong. It's getting kind of late in the afternoon here in the world of Ultima. This looks like the blacksmith. Now, the blacksmith is making that cage over and over again. Let's give him a little... Any weapons in the blacksmith shop? Nothing. Nothing worth picking up. Huh. Stop moving. Oh, soul cage. Soul cage! You see the fire of the ghostly forge, You see in the fire of the ghostly forge a large, heavily muscled ghost with a full beard and mustache. He does not notice your approach. "What's your name, sir?" A deep furrow, accentuated by thick eyebrows, creases the ghost's weary brow. He doesn't look away from his work. "I am Trent. Now please leave me to my work." He continues hammering on a strangely shaped iron cage. "What's your job? Art thou blind? Canst thou not see that I am a smith?" He doesn't seem to sort for idle conversation. I'm sorry I'm having so much trouble the past couple episodes reading today. Iron cage. Anger radiates from the large ghost in almost tangible waves. He looks up from the cage, and you see that the light of fire isn't coming from the forge. It's coming from his eyes. "I built this cage to destroy that bastard Horrence, who took my wife from me." For a moment, you think he is going to strike out at you. Then he unclenches his fist with a heavy sigh and returns to his work. "Horrence?" His whole body tenses as you speak. "Horrence." The word comes out like a curse. "I will see his foul spirit burn before mine eyes. Then I will laugh as he cries out pitifully for mercy." For some reason, you think that you'd rather avoid hearing that laugh. Your wife. One hot tear slips from the ghost's eye and falls on a heated piece of the iron cage. It sizzles and then is gone. "Rowena was my wife, mine only joy in this world." His voice is almost tender, but then he returns to his guttural tones. "He killed her and took that joy from me. Now I am only a hollow shell of a man burning with hatred." Rowena. He holds up one hand as you say the name of his late wife. "Please do not say that name. It takes from me a little of mine hatred, which is all I have now. Wouldst thou rob me of the one thing that keeps me alive?" It would seem that he is unaware of the fact that he is indeed no longer alive. An odd expression crosses his face. "I gave her a music box for our wedding, and now it is all I have left to remember her by." His tone changes. "Do thou see what thou hast done? I cannot work when I think of her." He returns to his work with renewed passion. You notice the music box he spoke of sitting nearby. Killed. In an attempt to steal her away from my side, the evil fiend sent his undead minions to bring her to the Dark Tower. The mindless creature slew her as she struggled. The ghost turns to you in anguish. I could do naught to save her. The sheer numbers of skeletal warriors bore me to the ground as she was bereft of life. Insane determination flickers in the big ghost's eyes. For this I will never forgive and never forget. Well, goodbye. If he heard you, he ignores the fact as you take your leave. You truly feel pity for this deeply wounded spirit. Is this the music box right here? Play a little tune. I can barely hear it. I don't know if you can hear it on the thing at all. Man, so far this storyline has actually been pretty cool. Let's do a save. We haven't saved for a while. Now that I think about it, let's do a save over a deceit, because we're never going back to that. Actually, let's just make a new one. Liche! Just in case. So far in this game, there's been a couple storylines that have really stuck with me. The one where we... Oh, these clouds are the worst. The one where we took on the boat builder who was lying about how to build boats. That was a really good story. The one that ended up with a guy committing suicide at the end of it. I thought story-wise that was really good. The second one was the storyline. I'm going over this way for a reason. Was the storyline here that's really kind of sticking with me. These two stories have been really, really good. I'm getting tired of these clouds, so I'm going to try and rest for a day and see if we can't get some different weather, because these have got to be the most aggravating thing I've ever seen. Well, it turns out the clouds did not go away. So that made me kind of sad. We'll just have to put up with them, I guess. I guess they're just part of this area. So it looks like there's another little hut up here. Let's see. This is just a little hut. No one's home. It's got a plaque, though. Oh, yeah! So this would be What's-Her-Face's home. Runes, please. This one is the one I can never remember. H. No, this can't be right. That's not the. T. O. To. He. Exethine. D. A. R. It's a little H one again. C. Oh, wait, is that TH? Yeah. To the dark. T-O. Tower. To the dark tower. Is this a cave? Or is it just a stone? Just a stone. It says to the dark tower. Kind of weird. Oh my goodness. Everybody here with their need for food all the time. Is new guy actually starving? Yeah. Weird, he was taking starvation damage. We got a little house here. Help, help! Who needs help? Oh, goodness! Who called for the help, though? I mean, we have a magic axe in here, which is always good. In fact, we can take YOLO. We can take this sling and give it here. We can give YOLO this magic axe. That'll do it. Is there another ghost in here somewhere? Who was yelling for help? There's just the Reaper in here. I don't see another ghost. There's a stump. It wasn't yelling. I don't see anybody in here. Oh, these clouds are ridiculous. Here, I'm just gonna save again. We'll save over bees. Alright, there should be one more house up this way. I don't see anybody in that house that yelled help. There's supposed to be another building somewhere up here on the north end. There's what I'm looking for. There we go. This must be the alchemist. This must be Cain. Right? The ghastly man displays a face filled with pain. What's your name, sir? He gasps, am called Cain. But I have also been given an alias by my fellow townspeople. To them I am known as the Tortured One. He moves his hands in a sweeping gesture, but seems to indicate nothing, and thou canst see why. What's your job? He smirks at your comment. Thou wishest to know my job? I will tell me the job, he shouts. To burn here, in eternal flames, for my crime against the fair city of Scarabray. That, he pauses for emphasis, is my job. After a moment, he calms down. I apologize, my lord. I realize thy question was not intended to further torment me. He sighs and turns his face away from you. At one time, I was the alchemist here. Can I ask you some questions? The ghost looks at you with a hint of amusement. Thou art looking for the answer to the question of life and death? Yes, actually. The Tortured One looks hard at you. After a pause, he speaks. I will tell thee what I know. If thou dost agree to help me, free me. Free all of us. Free us from the evil Liche. I agree. He is an evil spirit who inhabits poor dead Horrence's body. He has a hold on every being in this town, even me. He sucks the life forces, the little that remain, from our souls. Please, thou must free us from his power. Wilt thou try? I sure will. The Tortured One's eyes brighten somewhat as he sees the light at the end of a long, dark tunnel. Then thou hast given me hope. To begin, speak with Mistress Mordra. She can tell thee how to accomplish this feat. Why? The flames, fool, the flames! What flames? He looks down at the ground, a remorseful expression on his face. The flames are my punishment. Years ago, when the evil Liche first exerted his reign of death over Scarabray, the healer, Mordra, conceived of a plan to remove the creature most foul. She designed a concoction that would destroy the magical bonds that formed the Liche. The formula was presented to our mayor, who passed it on to me. But something went wrong when I was preparing the potion. The proportions were mixed improperly, or, I don't know, he shouts, fists clenched. All I remember is the shop exploding, and the fire. The fire, all those people dead because of me, because of my mistake. Scarabray. It was a thriving town before I destroyed it. His jaw tightens and his face clenches. Why? He again gasps in agony, but quickly regains control. There were so many innocent people, he says, staring directly at you. I cannot believe I am responsible for all their deaths. What about the mayor? Forsyth is the mayor. Perhaps thou can find him in the town hall, should thou wish to speak to him. And the people? Thou wishes to know whom I killed? I can only assume that all perished in the blaze. Markham and his barmaid, Paulette, Trent and Forsyth, and of course, Mordra the healer. What about Trent? He is, or was, the blacksmith. My one consolation lay with him, for I thought there would be at least one advantage to his death. Sadly, he inhales quickly, even that did not occur. The blacksmith? He was once a master of all things metal. Now all he does, so I am told, is work endlessly on that blasted cage. Advantage? The Liche took from Trent the one most valuable thing in the blacksmith's life, his wife, Rowena. I had hoped his death would at least extinguish his pain. He smiles sardonically. Well, it did end his pain in a manner of speaking. Rowena. She was all he lived for. When the Liche tried to take her from him, he was consumed by the emptiness of her death. But after his own demise, he stares directly at you, his bitter feelings soured even further. I suspect there is no reasoning with him now. Reasoning? I doubt he would believe even his own death, let alone care. Cage? I know nothing about it other than it was necessary to put the Liche in it before my potion could work on him. An end? The pain is gone, but only to be replaced by his obsessive anger. The poor fool does not even realize he is dead. He thrives on his anger. Goodbye. Good day, my lord. He suppresses a pained scream as you depart. Wow. Dude. There's some bad times here in Scarabray. Let's head out to... Yeah, we can't get any. There's nothing going on up here. Except more of these clouds. Who thought this was a good idea? I literally can't see why we can't move. I don't know what's wrong. There we go. Oh, we need to finish this quest at this point, because these clouds are stupid. Alright. let's head on down to the Mordra. Mordra? Never gonna say her name right, apparently. We need to talk to her again, because apparently she needs to tell us how to kill the Lich. Greetings once again. What is this? Oh, that's a fancy potion. She lifts her arm, does her magic, and says we're all good. Can we get back to the stuff? Job. I was the healer of this town before the fire shattered everybody's lives. She winks at you slyly. Fire. Same thing. Recipe. There we go. It was but a simple mixture of a few ingredients. It should have worked. Her eyes narrow. I expect that Mayor of ours foresight fouled things up. Okay. Mayor. That man is a bumbling idiot. Probably tenfold. Kane. These are all the same things we've already read. Is there anybody here we didn't ask about before? No, she's already told us all this. Magical arts. Okay, I guess the only thing we haven't done is we didn't tell the mayor it was his fault, or get him to admit it was his fault exactly. So I guess what we'll do is we'll save one more time over bees. Talk to the mayor. Ah, yes, good avatar. It's good to see thee again. Is the Lich gone yet? Lich. Why, yes, the Lich has been a horrible scourge in my poor town. First he drives away the visitors, and we have to stop him. His fault. Well, the alchemist is the one who started the fire. Fire. He puts his arm around your shoulders and whispers. Our healer thought she found a way. All right. So, we have to get rid of a Lich. We've talked to everybody. There's some potion here I was not here before. This is new. Artifacts of Darkness by Mordra. Within the pages of this handwritten book are many references to devices of destructive power. Amongst them are Mundane Skull, Gem of Mortality, Mike's Crystal Ring, etc. More recent entries describe the Crown of the Lich King, the Well of Souls, and a mysterious black rock sword, which apparently has the power to slay even one so powerful as Lord British. A short essay involving a metal plate hung above a door explains what seems to be a far simpler method of dispatching the noble monarch. Okay. So we've got a potion here. That's just a glass item. Maybe we have to convince the blacksmith to tell us about the cage? Maybe? He continues his work on a strangely shaped iron cage. Oh, iron cage. Anger radiates from the large ghost in almost tangible waves. He looks up from the cage and you see the light of the fire isn't coming from the forge, it's coming from his eyes. Horus, who took my wife, he unclenches his fist, a heavy sigh, and returns to his work. So none of this is new dialogue either. None of this is new dialogue. I mean, we have to do what we have to get the recipe somehow. Obviously, at this point, we have to find out what we're supposed to do with the cage. I mean, again, we've got to do something with the Well of Lost Souls, wherever that is, and then we need to get the Lich in a cage. And then we have to pour a potion on him. That's what I've figured out so far. But we need the potion. It's got to be that glowy potion. Oh, here's the Dark Tower. Random lightning bolt. That's no good. Random undead warriors. Let's just talk to the Lich. Ooh. You step forward to confront this vile-looking creature, and he slowly turns to face you. His intense gaze locks on your form. You almost wish you hadn't been so bold. Grug. A sardonic expression comes to his undead features. How may I help thee? You get the distinct impression that help is the last thing you'll get from the Lich. Shmino steps near you and speaks in a whispered tone. Do not trust this one, my lord. Methinks he'll cause naught but evil. My lord, I'm ready to go now, he says to you, cowering from the undead creature. What's your name? Lich's stony features take on a haughty appearance. Thou mayest call me Lord Horrence. It would only be prudent, as I shall one day rule all of Britannia. Surprised, Avatar? Come now. Surely thou dost not think that Lord British will stand in my way. I know how to deal with his ilk. All right. What's your job? A harsh cackle escapes his dry throat. I am the illustrious Lord of the Dead, soon to be Lord of all Britannia. Dost thou have any idea of the number of dead people and creatures there are? I thought not. The dead of the ages are mine to summon and control. The graves of beloved ancestors will spew forth their contents into an army. A spectral treat for the living. Mine undead monsters will be. I imagine a skeletal dragon that cannot be killed. Consider a cabal of ever-living mages, eternally enthralled to me. And the most beautiful part of my plot is that as the living die in these battles, and they will die, they will swell the ranks of the undead host. I will rule supreme. A world of the dead, a terrifying glimpse of a sick and twisted future causes you to shiver ever so slightly. And I will have a queen, the lovely Rowena. Yes, my lord, I must be the happiest lady in all the land. Her gaze never wanders from the horrid face of the Lich. Lord Horace? Ah, it is good to hear such an obeisance, I cannot talk, from the Avatar. Perhaps that will have a place in my new order. The Lich looks at you with an expression somewhere between malice and humor. Lord British. Evil is a mild word for the sneer that appears on the Lich's cracked lips. It has recently come to my attention that a certain ore found on the Britannia surface can, if fashioned properly, become the bane of the vaunted Lord British. I know this lore and have used it before for other purposes. I will use it once again to destroy that so-called lord. How about you tell me about the new order? Expression of zeal lights the dead face of the Lich. Yes, Grug, the dead will rule. I will be their leader, and you canst become an Avatar. To me! Over my dead body, by Grug. I thought that was understood. It will be my pleasure to help thee enter the realm of the dead. I don't want to die. I don't want to fight him right now. What ore? Now, Avatar. That would be revealing. Then I would have no secret from thee, would I? What about other purposes? He gestures at the walls of the tower. It served as an effective barrier against the ravaging effects of the disrupted ether. Why? What else wouldst thou call it? Surely thou art truly humbled by my majestic presence. And then Rowena. Is she not the most beautiful lady thou hast seen? She shall have eternal beauty at my side, and we shall rule together. Goodbye. It is truly sad to see thee go, he says with a sardonic smile. Yeah, right. Feel free to explore mine humble abode. Though, have a care, my guardians are none too intelligent and will most likely assault anything living. He smiles with his death head grin. Talk to Rowena. You see a ghostly lady wearing a long black gown. Something is a bit strange about the way she looks, but you can't quite place it. After a pause, she says, Greetings, my lord. I am Rowena, lady of this wondrous tower. She gestures around the room, indicating the moldering walls and cobweb rafters. Name. I am called Rowena. Job. She stares blankly for a second, then as if on cue, I am the mistress of the tower. I tend to my Lord Horance's needs and keep our place looking respectable. It would appear that she's been falling behind in the latter duty. Tell me about the tower. After a moment. This is a lovely tower, dost thou not agree? Before he can answer, she continues. Dost thou see the lovely rays of light playing across the flagstone of the floor? Water sparkles in the fountain. This is truly a beautiful place in which to live. Her eyes fix upon the floor. Horrence. She blinks once, then, Horrence, what a wonderful name. He found me lost and lonely and brought me here to be a lady. Is he not truly the most magnificent of lords? Okay, goodbye. She pauses. Goodbye, my lord. I hope thou hast enjoyed thy visit to our glorious tower. Please return whenever thou wishest. feels as if you've been speaking to a statue. Huh. Oh wait, is that the Well of Souls? Alright, so there's the Well of Souls that everybody's going on about. Up above here, behind the two of them, we got a clock. Really? 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 Well, I'm gonna go do all that dialogue off camera that just happened. Again, thank goodness we saved before we walked up here, since half the party just died. Oh, man. Really? So, don't walk there. What's in this book? The Black Compendium, written by Mondane, with annotations by the Enchantress Minus and magical formula by the Hellspawn Exodus. To extend one's life is a complicated procedure taking years to complete. However, there is an additional side effect: invulnerability. I have broken this work down to chapters based on each individual riddle. It is very important that these steps are performed in the order presented. First, thou must procure 5 stones of the dust of crushed rubies. So we mix thoroughly with the ooze of a slime, enough to make the rubies into a thick paste. After thou hast created the paste, set it on an ivory jar and place the entire container in a bucket of olive oil for 3 years. The next step is to procure 10 newborn babes, none more than 6 days old, with a knife cut from the bone of a harpy. Thou must remove the blood from each newborn. To be kept fresh, the blood must be stored in an onyx flask, though mixing of each baby's blood is quite permissible. Now thou shalt seek out... Oh, that's just horrible. So don't walk there. Is there anything up here that's going to help us? No. Nothing here that helps. Huh. Well, let me go ahead, get the party together, and when we come back, we'll be right here. Until then, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Please tell your friends. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we hope to see you soon.